George from SME here, and today we're bringing you the final installment of the Data Catalyst video series. So far, we've brought in the data, we've enriched the catalog, we've prepped all of our data, consolidated it. So now, finally, our catalog is ready. So what does that mean? Finally, our end users can start interacting with the catalog. So this gives them two options. They can now start searching and basically shopping for their data, looking at the quality metrics, as well as pushing it out to their applications. So let's take a look at what that looks like. With our data onboarded, enriched, and prepared, the data catalog is finally ready. But what does ready really mean? Let's put ourselves in the shoes of an end user. The end goal of all of the steps we did before this video was to ensure that our end users could locate the data they need, identify what is production ready, and shop for it to be used in other applications. Now, just to recap, in the catalog, we have our three core metrics to see if our data is truly ready to be taken out of the catalog. We can also dive into each entity to view metadata, statistics, lineage, sample data, related entities, and much more. At the top, we have our filters to help us access our data quicker. We can specify which objects to search for. Notice that by object you can search for entities, but also the data sources, fields, and QVDs tied to those entities. We can also filter on tags, business name, and business description. All of these tie back to the data governance and organization that Data Catalyst provides. But there is one more thing that we can filter on to make things even easier for an end user: the data set. So let's go ahead and search for SME to get all of the entities that we've worked with. You can see here that there are a lot of entities that come from SME or my name. The search went across all of the objects and attributes. Now, let's put on our end user hat here. Which entities should I pick? I would say Payment Fact and GM Barrett Sales because they are 100% operational and have over 90% quality. Popularity is low because this will be one of the first times we use them. So, when we are ready to make our entities actionable, we go ahead and we can add them to the cart. We are literally shopping for data to create data marts, or in Data Catalyst, what is called a data set. At the My Cart screen, we can create a data set from these entities. I'll call it SME Sales Mart. Let's go ahead and refresh. So now that our data set is created, I can go over to the filters and search for my particular data set. And when I apply, I have my entities. So now that I have my sales data mart, I can do a bunch of things. Let's go ahead and re-add these to the cart. If I have more entities to add, I can add them to the data set. I can also keep them in Data Catalyst to explore or prepare the data further. But if I'm ready to take my data out of Data Catalyst, I can use the Publish option. Publishing pushes the data to a specific target. Let's go ahead and look at which of the targets we can push to. The great thing about Data Catalyst is that it supports a wide variety of targets. You can publish it locally to the Qlik Data Catalyst server, FTP or SFTP, Hadoop and HDFS, S3 and Redshift, or to a relational database using the Open Connector. We have lots of options. Once you've built out your target, you can then create publish jobs to push the data out at regular intervals. But there's another publish feature that is incredibly useful for BI developers. So let's go back to my data set and let's re-add them to the cart. Notice here that I can publish my app directly to QlikSense. This speeds up the time for BI development by getting the data into a new app right away. And in the February 2020 release of QlikSense, we can access our catalog directly from the data manager inside of QlikSense. And there you have it. Our data has gone from raw to ready, and we can use it to take the data to insights. Thank you for watching this video in our series on Qlik Data Catalyst. If you want to learn more about Data Catalyst or how SME can take your data from raw to ready, reach out to us in the comments below or at info@smesgroup.com. Until next time, bye guys.